Hi, this is a series where I review 3 titles and choose each one based on a similarity that their covers have. For this week, I chose Half of a Face. And again, like one of my previous episodes, I don't really have a funny or smart way of putting it, but yeah. Covers where the models are only shot from here down. The first title that I chose is Not So Nice Guy by R.S. Gray. The second one is The Chase by L. Kennedy. And the third one is Billionaire Next Door by Jessica Lemon. The first title is Not So Nice Guy by R.S. Gray. Now this plot is what happens when you hold on to your feelings for too long. It was a whirlwind romance of shotgun weddings and mental demise, and I loved every minute of it. The plot was simple, a little light on the conflict even, but the appeal is there. The characters were genuine and likable. Ian's character was written as a very straightforward, sincere person. And the heroine's point of view, the imagery in her point of view was very detailed and compelling. And the heroine was written to be this sort of worrier, and her worrying tendencies sort of made her into a very relatable main. The pairing of the two of them was really appealing, and this plot actually had me laughing hysterically for most of the book. It didn't try to overcomplicate things, which I appreciate. It was a simple plot, and the progression overall of the story didn't try to be anything but that. It was light and simple, and the progression of events was also light and simple. The banter between the mains was very witty, which I'm always a sucker for. The flawless interactions between characters. Their romance was not sort of embellished in a way. It was a very flawed romance. Things didn't always go according to plan between the two of them, but you could see the affection, the simple in its essence, their affections for each other were evident. And I don't know, they just I like you and that's it. It was sort of what I got from the book, which is sometimes it's all it takes. You don't have to be flashy with it. The second title is The Chase by L. Kennedy. This is the first book of hers that I have read, but it was a very interesting book. The way it was written was witty, funny, sort of not fast-paced. The pacing was okay. There was nothing really that special about it, but although the plot of it was simple, the writing, the delivery of it kept me reading, and it was great. Again, like the other book, the other title, it didn't really try to overcomplicate things. It was just great writing, engaging dialogue. There were some intimate scenes, a lot of intimate scenes between the mains. I think the guy's name is Fitz, and the girl's name is, I forgot. What is her name? Jesus. Something. I forgot her name. But the plot basically is that the girl is an heiress and the guy is just a normal guy, and the girl right from the off liked said guy, and Fitz was sort of careful not to engage. It had something to do with the heroine's personality and the difference of their worlds, but they fall in love. Anyway, and it was very steamy. So if that is an issue, again, maybe don't read that part or skip it. Overall, it was great. I liked it. It didn't really bring anything new, but I still liked it. The third title is The Billionaire Next Door I know the title is honestly not that great. It's by Jessica Lemon. This book had so much potential. The dialogue of it flowed very smoothly. The main characters, Tag and Rach, they definitely had chemistry. I had no questions about the plot. I never want to question what an author chooses to write about, but I had some issues with the delivery of it. First of all, the pacing was a bit on the slow side, which, I mean, some people like that, but for me, slow pacing is one way to lose my attention. The turning point of the book was it was actually left until the last 2 chapters of the book, which again, I will reiterate that generally, unless it's written exceptionally well, I usually have questions when the turning point or the earth-shattering conflict of the book is left a little bit later. I feel like that style usually creates problems towards the end. Either the ending will feel a bit rushed, or it wouldn't be hashed out sufficiently, or there would just be a lack of closure in general. Another point that I have for this book is that it was a bit too smooth sailing. It was lacking in the conflict department, and I feel like it started on a high and then it sort of fizzled out throughout the book, and by the end it was not for me. I'm just gonna give up and read from my notes because they are quite a lot. And the intimate scenes of this book felt sort of tutorial-esque. There were some chapters that would divert from the main story, which is Tag and Rachel's story. Some chapters would completely divert from the 2 mains and focus on somebody else. I don't know if this was a device used by the author to sort of give us a sneak peek into other books, but it left me kind of lost. With Rach, while I do appreciate the idea of empowering a woman after a breakup, the delivery of it felt a bit repetitive to me. How it came off to me is that Rach was sort of harping on about her ex, Sean, too much, and I feel like she almost said all these things to sort of ward off the player persona of the guy, Tag. It just felt weird that she kept bringing him up. She was sort of using him as a warning slogan for what not to do. Lastly, the ending of the book. I found it sort of hard to believe that Rach would just forgive Tag so easily after he basically accused her of mooching off him, especially when throughout the book, the author wrote it very clearly that Rach was not the kind of girl to sort of accept that Tag would spend money on her. It just didn't make sense to me how he was forgiven easily. The book was not bad, but it definitely had room for improvement.